All right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to Women's Football Chat Live. Our coverage of the Women's Champions League continues this evening. We just watched a tight battle featuring two red cards between Atletico Madrid and Manchester United, where the visitors edged out a 1-0 victory. And now the action continues. We have another huge clash. It's Bayern Munich taking on Juventus. These sides had very contrasting fortunes in match week 1. Juventus stuttered to a 2-1 victory over Benfica, whereas Bayern slumped to a 7-1 defeat away at Barcelona. They'll be hoping to bounce back in style, Harry. And do you see Bayern doing that? How do you rate their chances this evening?
I think they've got a good chance, but it's going to be difficult up against the Juventus side, who did play okay last week. As you say, I think it was a really weird opening match week for both of these two sides, and they'll be hoping that they can put more of a convincing performance on today and get 3 points, especially if you are Bayern Munich. They were embarrassing, to be quite honest. It was a dismal display against Barcelona, just all over the place, and they need to play better tonight because Juve were really hit and miss, and I think that at times against Benfica they looked strong, at other times they looked really vulnerable. It's the kind of game, though, where I think if you're wanting goals tonight, this is where we're going to get them, because two defences that have been a little bit leaky this season across the Champions League and their domestic competitions. So, yeah, I think that there's a definite opportunity that we could see a few goals for both sides this evening. I really can't call it. I think it's got a bit of maybe a 5, 6, 7 goal thriller on the cards.
I would love to see that after we only saw one goal earlier and not a load of goals yesterday. But let's get into the lineups then. We are at the FC Bayern campus. We'll start with the hosts. A 4-2-3-1 for Bayern Munich. In goal, it's Grös. A back four of Gwyn. Captains Viggo Dottir, Bolsager and Ket. In the midfield, it's Stanway alongside Caruso. On one flank, Tanikawa. On the other, Clara Bull. Within the 10, Dorman, and leading the line, Pernilla Harder. Who are you excited to see in this Bayern side, Harry?
Well, I'm always excited to see Pernilla Harder play football. What a player she is. But overall, it's a very, very good team. Clara Buell was, got on the score sheet last time out against Barcelona. Was the only good thing that Bayern Munich could. I can even say about Bayern Munich in that performance. But yeah, I think again it's a very, very good front line. I think defensively they are very, very strong. I just think they have been a little bit sloppy, and obviously they got torn apart against Barcelona. They've conceded a couple in the league, but not too many. So it's one of those where I think that they'll be hoping to be a bit more convincing tonight, even against Wolfsburg at the weekend. They won 3-1, but there was a Wolfsburg red card and late penalties, which made it look a little bit more convincing. So it's one of those where I think Bayern Munich could do with a bit of a big victory tonight and just something to, a very, very good performance to boot. But on paper, it looks to be a good side. It's a dangerous side. And as I said there, Pernilla Harder in the Champions League is one of the most exciting prospects you could ever have on a football pitch.
4 changes for Bayern Munich. Are you a little surprised, though, in the areas they've come? Magdalena Eriksson dropping out of the side. Gwyn, of course, back from injury. Makes sense to see Simon drop back out. But changing goal from Armatovic dropping out for Grös. And Lea Schuler, one of the victims as well of rotation, with Dorman coming into the side. Do you think they're the right changes for Bayern?
Yeah, it's been a weird season for Bayern. They've rotated around quite a lot, and we have seen a lot of players play quite a few minutes to open the campaign. I think that it's one of those where, again, it's really difficult to grasp because, as you say, they were so poor against Barcelona, but then they did bounce back and beat title rivals Wolfsburg at the weekend. So it's really hard to judge who you start, who you play, who has played well across 2 games, because there's that it was more or less the same players that lost 7-0 in one game and won 3-1 in the other. So it is hard to get right. I think it's a difficult decision, but it's a good team, as I said, and there has been a lot of rotation, so it's not been unheard of for Bayern Munich this season to keep that 11 chopping and changing. They've just got to hope that tonight it's the right 11 to go out and win this football game.
Yeah, fair enough. On to Juventus then. 3 change from the side who beat Benfica last week. In goal, Peo Magnin keeps her starting berth. A back 3 of Kohlberg coming in to the side. Salvai and Lenzini. It's Harviken who drops out of the back 3. In full backs again, it is Estella and Bonansea, with a midfield of Vauti and Schatzer. Pinto and in midfield as well. And then Vangsgaard and Cambiaghi leading the line. So no Girelli. Bonansea taking the captain's armband. Let's discuss both of those. Obviously, Bonansea was crucial in their win against Benfica. Look, their sharpest player. How much of an impact will she have on their chances of victory tonight?
Again, she's going to be their outlet. It's going to be the most dangerous player. They've got to get the ball to her and hope she can make things happen. And if you can get Bonansea running in that Bayern defence, get them, travelling back on their heels, and she potentially could cause some issues. But it's definitely going to be where the danger comes for Juventus. I think that they've got some good players, and again, if the service is right to Cambiaghi and Vangsgaard, they are two strikers that can hurt Bayern Munich this evening. But same problems I mentioned a moment ago. Defensively, I do have my reservations. I thought Pero Magnin looked really shaky against Benfica last week. And defensively, they were a little bit open, as good as Salvi was going forwards. And as they did defend well at times. I think across the back three, it was a little bit open. And especially because the fullbacks are very aggressive. They are very, very aggressive wing backs. So they kind of got away with it against Benfica at times. But against Bayern Munich, trying to get away with it is very, very risky. So I'm intrigued to see how that goes, because if someone like Clara Buell or whoever can get into the space that is left behind by those wing backs, then Juventus could be in trouble defensively tonight.
Well, I think that's probably why they've made the changes they have. Kohlberg coming into the side, maybe a bit more of a faster option to deal with Bayern in behind than someone like a Harviken. I think Schatzer as well, obviously a bit more defensive protection than Godo does. So I think those changes are probably made for that reason. The other change, of course, Girelli coming out of the team, Cambiaghi to lead the line. Are you surprised by that at all, given Girelli's lack of impact in the opener?
Yeah, I don't think Girelli and Vangsgaard worked well with each other in the first game. Bringing Cambiaghi, do I see much of a difference? I think it's going to be interesting to see how Vangsgaard and Cambiaghi work together, because they are pretty similar as well, I think, in play style in certain elements. And do you take Cristiano Girelli out of these kind of games, Champions League nights, big nights? She's a big game player. So it's an interesting decision. Whether it will pay off or not, we'll have to wait and see. But there's pros and cons to it, as I said. I don't think Girelli and Vangsgaard work together, but then are Cambiaghi and Vangsgaard work together? And do you take Girelli out for these kind of games? So it's really hard one to weigh up. We'll have to wait and see. But I think the service has got to be better towards those strikers. If they can get Vangsgaard and Cambiaghi in the game, then the pressure is going to be on that Bayern Munich backline to deal with that threat.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Cambiaghi just gives you a little bit more, brutishness up there. I think she's very direct in how she wants to play. She wants to get in behind. She'll bully defenders a bit more. I think it does make sense to put her up there. But yeah, as you said, Girelli is usually such a decisive player. Steps up in those big moments. We saw it for Italy at the European Championships. So yeah, I think there is definitely a question to be had there, but I don't think it's too bad to see that change, and Girelli can still have an impact on the substitutes bench. Let's get into predictions then. Both sets of players taking to the field. If you're watching along to the show, get involved in the live chat. Comment your score line prediction. We'll start here in the studio, and as always, Harry, we'll start with your prediction. Bayern taking on Juventus. What is your prediction?
I think it's going to be a close game. As I said, it'll be a close game, but an action-packed one. I am going to say Bayern Munich 3, Juventus 2. I think it'll be a thriller of a game with two sides that look good going forwards, but a little bit shaky at the back. And I just think that I'm going to favour Bayern, because they've probably got a little bit more quality in that final third, and with the home crowd, could just get them across the line. I will say Bayern Munich goals coming from Buell, Harder and Stanway, and Juventus goals coming from Bonansea, because she was so good last week, and a goal for Schatzer.
Fair enough. That would be one hell of a game. I think it'll be slightly more comprehensive. I'm going to say Bayern 3, Juventus 0. I think this Bayern side are much stronger than that Barcelona game made them look. I don't think that's very representative. I don't think they're going to need 7 again. So yeah, I think they'll have this quite comfortably. I wasn't impressed by Juve last week. I think they're too reliant on Salvi scoring headers. I don't think that's a sustainable way to score goals. And as good as she is in the air, I don't think that's a sustainable way. I think Bayern will edge it this evening, because their side is incredibly strong. Only surprise really is to see Balenciaga coming in instead of Magdalena Eriksson. But I think other than that, it's a really, really strong team. I want to see more from Linda Dorman. She really disappointed me at the Euros. I think it makes sense bringing her in for this sort of game after Schuler struggled in the opener. But yeah, I think we need to see more from those Bayern attackers. Buell, Dorman, Tanikawa, Harder, all top talents. So I think we'll see stuff from them tonight. I think Tanikawa will get a goal. I think Harder will get a goal. I think Buell will get a goal. And it'll be a very comfortable 3-0 victory.
Like it. I have to say, also, it's a bit of a small bench for Bayern Munich, but it's a bench packed with quality. Padilla, Ervedov, Schuler, all on there, who can pack a punch if they need to change the game.
Yeah, indeed. I don't think it's not unnaturally small. It's small to Champions League standards, only because you seem to get unlimited substitutions in the
Yeah.
there's an unlimited bench. But I mean, they've still got 8 outfield players, or 8 players in total. Sorry, 7 outfielders. I don't think there's anything too wrong with that. Juventus have brought their entire squad with them to travel, which is usually sit the other way around.
Yeah,
Usually see the side that host bring everyone because it's at their home stadium, and the side that travel light. You don't want to have to take loads of players abroad, but Juve may have taken the train. We can't be sure.
Maybe.
That's their cost-cutting measures. Tom, welcome to the stream. Says LA Juventus. Welcome to the stream. JE saying 3-0 Bayern. It's a slightly different prediction there. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting game.
Yeah, it's going to be competitive. I think that if Bayern Munich look as shaky, again, it's all going to come down to how both sides look defensively. Because I think if Bayern Munich keep making errors and, again, allow Juventus to get good players into good positions, then they could hurt them. But if Bayern Munich control this game, don't allow Juventus to settle, then it could very much be one-way traffic. Leia Valti is going to be a massive part of this game. Because if she can get on the ball and dictate the tempo and give Juventus a bit of possession to work with, then that definitely could get them into this contest. But yeah, it's going to come down to very fine margins that will decide who's going to win this football match.
Indeed, and John Angrino welcome to the stream as well, going at 2-1 for Bayern. Fair enough. Welcome, thank you for predicting. Praveen going 2-0 Bayern as well. Also saying PSG Madrid will be a much better game. I don't think it will. I think it's going to be Kanjinga taking lots of shots, depends where they go in. We are underway here at the FC Bayern campus. It's Bayern to get us started in this Champions League Matchday 2 fixture as we finish up these Matchday 2 games. Bayern taking on Juventus. We also will keep tabs on that game, on the other 2 games on right now, which are Benfica taking on Arsenal, and then obviously PSG Real Madrid. So a plethora of Champions League action for us to keep across this evening. Here is Balenciaga. Now Ket tries to go down the line. Kuhlberg, though, across to it quickly. Neckhurt says it'll be 6-7.
Wow.
Hilarious. With a Bayern win. Tom going 2-1 Juventus. So a range of predictions in the live chat. The poll in chat at the moment, 75% Bayern. A little lesser of range there. Still, though, 20% going for Juventus. But is Juve on the ball now, albeit it's up in the air. Pinto tries to bring it down. Now Tanikawa, and there is a foul there, apparently on Tatiana Pinto. Stanway a little too overzealous in her attempts to regain possession, so it's Juve playing out from the back. Lenzini, Salvi, out now to Carbonell. And Salvi again, bounces one off Leovalti. And now all the way back to her goalkeeper, Pero Magnin, and that is a bit of a poor pass out, and Bayern can use this now. Tanikawa trying to turn Lenzini. Lenzini stands her up well and knocks it down the line. There is a foul anyway from Tanikawa.
I have to say, Juventus are going to have to move the ball a lot quicker than they did just there, because that was snail's pace, and Bayern Munich were all over it like a rash.
Yeah, not a great pass out from Pero Magnin. And yeah, you just sensed there that Bayern smelt blood. Ball down the line. Good hold up in there from Cambiaghi. Again, though, Vauti caught in possession. Pass around the corner from Schatzer. Carbonell trying to go down the line. Out though for a throw. But yeah, Bayern under Jose Barcola. It's been a mixed start to the campaign. They've been fairly strong in the league. They beat Wolfsburg at the weekend, sees them top of the division now. But last week's heavy defeat to Barcelona will no doubt be playing on the mind of many Bayern fans.
Yeah, they've just got to be careful. And as I said earlier, that Wolfsburg win at the weekend wasn't... It was a good performance. It wasn't incredibly convincing. But it got the job done.
But it's a win against difficult opposition.
It is.
To be fair.
It is.
Here is Vigersdottir. Now Balenciaga. Out to the left-hand side. Ket. Wants to come back. One back there by Vangsgaard. Now Pinto. Vauti. Juve constantly feel like they're about to give the ball away. And they do give the ball away, but it's a foul from Caruso. But it's been 3 fouls now, which are a little dubious. And it's just Juve just looking so insecure in possession.
Yeah.
So, carving out down the line. I think it may be a shape change as well for Juventus tonight. Vangsgaard coming down the left-hand side. Wants to put the ball into the box. Finds Cambiaghi, who takes a shot, but it's blocked. It was going wide of the mark anyway, but it was blocked by Vigosdottir. It looks like more like a 4-2-3-1 at times, so with how wide Vangsgaard is. And Cambiaghi more of a lone striker then. Which is fascinating, because we spoke last week about how much Girelli and Vangsgaard are more lone strikers than anything else. Yes. And this week, Cambiaghi is the lone striker, rather than either of them. Tanikawa into Stanway, now Caruso. Across to Vigosdottir. Gwyn. Caruso. Stanway, Caruso. Into Harder. Now Dorman. Can she make something happen? Lays it off to Gilia Gwyn, who puts it on the goalkeeper, Pedro Magnin, with no issues claiming that. And now a fast ball out to the right-hand side. Barbara Bonansea. Waiting for support. Goes inside now to Tatiana Pinto. Lovely turn into Leah Vauti. Now around the corner into Schatzer. Goes wide into Vangsgaard, who's now tentative about coming forward. Her shot is blocked, though. Not sure why she chose to shoot from there. And a foul there on Pernilla Harder. Tried to break away. Was just pulled back. And it's a very early yellow card in this game. And I believe that was handed to Schatzer. And no, it wouldn't have been. It's Salvi.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is very early to get a yellow card for a centre-half.
Yeah, but it's a silly foul. There's been a lot of fouls in the early stages, but yeah, Harder just spins and gets a big tug of the shirt. Pretty obvious one. That is 85 minutes now for her to play on a yellow card.
Stanway, nice turn. Just lifting it forwards and lifting it in behind. And Bayern now with a chance. Cut across the box. It's blocked well, though. Lanzini got out there, and that is out for a corner. But Bayern have been the stronger side in the opening 5 minutes.
Yeah, lovely ball. Juventus don't read it. Put a big recovery challenge to put it out for a corner. But Bayern Munich, keeping the pressure on here. Good start by the hosts. Exactly what they need to do. Look bright, look sharp.
Indeed. So, cornered out for Bayern. Ball onto the goalkeeper. And that comes off Bonansea. Almost goes for a corner. Bit of a mess at the moment, but Juve just about dealing with it. Bonansea tries knocking it wide. Finds Carvanel. And now Juventus somehow can play out. Bonansea. Carvanel. Cambiaghi, Schatzer. And that punted towards Gross. And she'll get under her control and Bayern can play out. Just been erratic so far from Juventus. Haven't really been able to just get a foot on the ball and play calm football. Just pinballing around a lot. Stanway. Now Caruso. Knocks it out to the right-hand side. Here is Linda Dorman. Occupying the wide right space. Caruso. Tanikawa. On to Ket. Into Buell. What can Clara Buell do? Tanikawa tries to come inside. On back though by Tatiana Pinto, who can launch it down the line. Stanway will get there though. Cambiaghi fighting away for the ball. Drops for Balesaga. And Bayern back in possession. Vigosdottir. Balesaga. Caruso. Back to Balesaga. And now it's with Georgia Stanway. Caruso. Hooks it wide. Clara Buell. Stanway. Dorman. Lovely pass around the corner. Lifted in behind. Look for the run now of Clara Buell. What can she make happen? Wants to run at Emma Kuhlberg. Cuts inside. It's blocked. Drops to Dorman on the edge. Can she fashion a shot? Not sure why she's pirouetted. Drops for Clara Buell. Across the box. And it's wide the mark from Pernilla Harder. But Bayern all over Juventus in the early stages.
Yeah, really good football from Buell down the left-hand side, causing all sorts of issues. Fall to Dorman, who makes a complete mess of it, but somehow manages to get it out wide to Buell. And I tell you what, Pernilla Harder probably should do better. Fired across the box from Clara Buell, and Harder puts it past the post. Just couldn't get her feet right to prod it goalwards. And out for a Juventus goal kick. But the Italian side have been under the pump for the first 9 minutes here. Just can't find a way out. And again, that goal kick, long ball from Bayern, straight out for a throw.
Yeah, Bayern not really getting shots away though. They're dominating the game, but they yet to have a shot. Juve with 2 shots, none on target. Gross. Now Balenciaga. Stanway wants to progress the ball. Back now to Stanway. Here is Ket. Then come down the left-hand side now, Bayern. Caruso. Harder. On to Clara Buell, who wants to take on Kuhlberg. Now Ariana Caruso. Buell. Here's Georgia. Stanway gearing up for the shot. Takes aim. Just wide of the mark. Not a bad strike though from Stanway. She got power and conviction through that effort. Unable though to find the target.
Trying to pick out the bottom corner again. Good football. Clara Buell in control of everything really for Bayern Munich. I tell you what, that is not a bad hit from Stanway.
Whistling really past the post. Ball bouncing around. Bolanced tries to get it under her control. Now Buell. Tanikawa. Can she get a shot away here from the edge of the box? Pass across to Linda Dorman, who now cuts it onto her left foot. Blocked well. And it's Dorman again. Stanway. Wider still. Clara Buell wants to take on Kuhlberg. Crosses it in. Header at the front post. And Bayern lead. Pernilla Harder pokes her in the header. And it's Bayern 1, Juventus 0. Tidy play from Clara Buell. It's a very well disguised cross into Pernilla Harder, who just seems to find the perfect little pocket of space as she pokes home the header at the front post.
Clara Buell has been front and centre of everything for Bayern Munich, and again, it's a really good piece of play to beat the opposing defender, get to the byline, cut it back, and Pernilla Harder unmarked in the penalty area. You won't get away with that one. And again, It's Harder in the Champions League, popping up with a goal for Bayern.
Indeed. And that's a really tidy header, and Juventus' night just got a lot harder. And, I mean, the defence from Juve, it's just way too open. Way too easy there for Bayern to play through them. Tidy from Buell, and clinical from Pernilla Harder.
Yeah, Juventus have had all the ball, but that's what Bayern want, because Juventus just cannot play out. Bayern Munich are letting them have the ball and then just winning it off them.
So Harder with the first goal of the night across any of the 8 o'clock Champions League games. Bayern now back in possession, and it's Ket. Back to Balenciaga. Carrying it forwards, passes across to Vigosdottir. And it's cut out well by Amelie Vangsgaard, and here come Juventus now. And it's their chance to put Bayern under some pressure. And they just haven't done well enough with it. Vangsgaard with a wild shot will spill out to Bonansea. She can square up now to Ket. And she just doesn't make a decision, and Ket wins it off her. And here come Bayern. Ket is just running up the line like there's no one there. It's so odd. Vouty. Now Schatzer. On to Carvanel. Knocks it wide, and Gwyn does really well to win it back and keep it in touch. Here is Tanikawa. Love the fluidity in this Bayern front line. Dorman and Tanikawa just floating between the right wing and attacking midfield roles. Pass now to Balenciaga. Schatzer. Oh, no, sorry, not Schatzer. Ket. Into Harder. Good hold up. Wide now to Buell, who beats Bonansea. Now Ket. Not drive by Stanway. Buell beats the fullback. Ball in the box. Header onto the bar. Chance to the back post. Dorman's effort blocked. Juve at 6s and 7s. Bayern at the moment looking very good for another in this game. Schatzer. Getting pinned into her own corner here. Cleared away by Salvi. But Juventus are all over the place in this game. Clara Buell with so much freedom on this left-hand side.
Again, brilliant from Buell. Dinks into the penalty area onto the head of Tanagawa, who heads it onto the crossbar. Oh, that's
unlucky not to score, and it's brilliant defending from Carbonell to get across and block Linda Dorman at the back post.
But again, story of the season for Clara Buell has been brilliant in the first 14 minutes. Got a goal last week, even when her side conceded 7. Has had a very good start to the season in the Frauen Bundesliga, and is playing very well tonight.
It's been a little shaky out from the back from Bayern. They're getting away with it because Juventus just don't look on it.
Yeah, I said it could be a problem, but as you say, at the moment it doesn't really matter because Juventus have also got it wrong. If anything, they've gone too aggressive. You know, it's an interesting system change. I think it is I don't know. I don't think it was the right decision.
No, I probably agree. I mean, yeah, they've brought in a more natural right. They've brought in a right back of Kohlberg, but that back four are all over the place.
And Kohlberg hasn't stopped Clara Buell once.
And I think just having one striker up front, because of how the midfield is looking, it leaves them at times at just a 4-5-1. And Cambiagi's just not getting on the ball. Really poor decision. Cat trying to get in behind. Good defending that from Emma Kohlberg. Yeah, I think Kanzi's got it all wrong so far. Here come Juventus. Carbonell switching the play. Barbara Bonansea shimmies back onto her left foot. Good challenge. A steamed a foul from Georgia Stanway. Won the ball back. Bonansea down the heap, and she's got a free kick on the edge of the box for Juventus.
Yeah, I think Stanway's a bit unlucky there. It was a really good recovery tackle from Buell because Ket had bombed on. And yeah, Stanway, she's got the ball.
It's smart from Bonansea.
Yeah, because she spins into her.
Yeah.
So Stanway does get the ball, but she does bring Bonansea down.
Well, Bonansea runs into her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's smart play. It's not really a foul from Georgia Stanway. Bonansea's super smart play. JE very happy with that goal. I think just wanting to see some action in front of the goals tonight. Free kick then, Valti and Schatzer over this. And this would be one hell of a way to get back in the game for Juventus. If they can make something happen from this dead ball situation. Valti steps up over it. Not sure if this will be a dinked ball in from one of the players, or if they're going to go for a goal. Schatzer will take aim. Great goal! And that's just one hell of a hit from Schatzer. Curls it top corner, and Juve bring this game level. Bayern 1, Juventus 1. What a free kick. Struck superbly by Eva Schatzer. Pero Magnin cupping her ear to the crowd. Not 100% sure why, but Eva Schatzer, take a bow. Just curls it into the top corner. Gruz gets a glove to it, but to no avail. Eva Schatzer, that's one hell of a strike.
An absolute beauty. They've been second best in this game, Juventus, for the first 17 minutes. But Schatzer has pulled them level with a beauty. And Gruz, she got a hand to it, but going to find it very hard to keep that out.
Indeed, a 20-year-old there, stepping up over the free kick, taking the responsibility for the side, and sticking it right in the top corner. Oh. Ball clipped in behind now for Bayern, looped forwards, looking for Pernilla Harder, knocked out of play by Salvi. After a slow start, Juventus, well, they're back on level terms, and it gives them a bit of a fresh slate to play from now. But they've got to improve their play, because at the moment, Bayern are likely to get back into this fairly comfortably. Here's Gwyn with the throw-in. Now Dorman. Back to Georgia Stanway. Here is Bolasaga. And on to Ket.
Yeah, Bayern can't allow that goal to derail them because they've been the better side in these first opening stages by a mile. They've just got to keep doing what they're doing. You feel like they'll retake the lead very shortly. It's up to Juventus to up their game now. They've got a lifeline. Schatz has given them something to work with. They're back in the game. They've got to use that.
Well, I think we made the right choice of games to watch. What a great start here in Munich. Only one shot in the game between PSG and Real Madrid. We've seen 2 goals over here. Clara Buell cuts inside. Can she make something happen? Shifts it onto Harder. Lifts out to the right side. Lovely football. Dortmund should do better. Touches it wide. Lovely football from Bayern Munich. Perhaps deserved a goal at the end of it, but they couldn't quite make it happen.
Yeah, not quite sure what Dortmund trying to do this one. It was a great ball. A great little switch from Harder. Caught everybody out. And yeah, Dortmund just, I don't know what she tried to do. You're never going to flick that on first. It was a wonder goal if you're going to get that in the back of the net. And just gets it horribly wrong.
Speaking of wonder goals, a replay there of that. Shouts a free kick.
So good.
And now, Juve coming forwards again. It's in the hands, though, of Gruz.
It's the type of free kick that sometimes as a goalkeeper you just have to get up and applaud.
Yeah, she got a glove to it. I don't think she was ever going to get enough behind to stop it with its positioning, but I think Gruz may be a little disappointed. She couldn't have done more, but it's a fantastic free kick. Vigo starts in. Now Ariana Caruso. Looking to switch the play. Bonansea. Touched on by Pinto. One back with a high press there of Caruso. She's dragged down. That's going to be quite a blatant yellow card for Tatiana Pinto.
Yeah, no complaints at all. And the second Juventus player to go into the book.
And I would be very surprised if it's the last.
Yeah, again, Juventus did this last week. They're very aggressive. I mean, that game was a bit different because Benfica were also being quite handsy and physical.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're just going to have to watch it tonight.
Well, I mean, last week, Juve didn't get a yellow card and Benfica got 4. So
Okay.
slightly different.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, they are very much playing the underdog style of football. Smashing a free kick and then go around lumping into the opposition.
Yeah.
Try and disrupt
But then
their flow.
on the ball, they've tried to... I mean, in the early passes, they tried to do something with it.
Well,
and
they've
that
just
didn't work.
overcomplicated it and keep giving it away.
Yeah.
Just feels like every touch, it's just, I don't know, it's too loose. Bayern coming down the right-hand side. Harder comes inside, looking dangerous. Needs some support here. Now it's to Tanikawa. Onto Gwyn, into the box. Shots now, and it's headed wide. It's a lovely move from Bayern Munich. And it really should be 2-1 Bayern in this game. Caruso played it to Gwyn. Gwyn clips it in. There's so many players looking for it, and Bill's got to leave it.
Yeah, they're taking it off each other.
Clara Bill's got to leave that for Tanikawa. She glances her head wide. Tanikawa would have headed it home.
Yeah, understandably apologising to her teammate there.
Peru Magnin into Kuhlberg. Lifting it down the line, and Cambiaghi will give chase. Balesaga back to her goalkeeper Gruz. He won't have loads of time with Cambiaghi in hot pursuit. And Pinto wins it back in midfield. Schatzer tries to touch it on. Back here in the possession of Bayern Munich. Here it's Tanikawa. Out to Buell. Stanway. And now Vigosdottir. Gwyn. Across to Balesaga. Gruz. Got a high octane start here to proceedings. Very enjoyable 22 minutes of action so far, Harry.
Yeah, very much so, and I certainly don't think we're done for goals yet. Because Bayern Munich have got unfinished business in this game.
Just keep going forward and they're going to score every time. 9 shots in this game. It's 6 big chances.
Wow.
In the first 22 minutes. That is absurd. Gross.
6? Really?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. On their current rate, they will get to 30 big chances.
Yes.
Ball in behind, looking for Pernilla Harder. And Juventus just way too open. Harder breaks into the box, cuts it back. Tanikawa shifts it across, cleared away. And Bayern probably should have done better with that one as well.
Yeah, Tanakawa just looking to shift it one more to Buell. But a big interception. And that's the thing, as much as Bayern have had all the numbers and have played the much better football, because of that Schatzer free kick, it's still level.
I don't think it will be for long, though, if this game continues in this vein. And Buell now just driving through fields of Juventus players. Hard to take aim, wide of the mark. Lovely play from Bayern Munich. But again, just can't quite cap off the move. So they've only put 2 shots on target. You've got to test Pedro Magni more. We saw how shaky she looked last week. Her goalkeeping for the opener was really poor as well. Just done at her front post by a crafty little header. And again, if that one was in the bottom target, corner, if that in the bottom corner, it's going in. And then Pedro Magni does a little pump of the fist. If it was on target, she'd have been nowhere near it. Juve now, Vangsgaard does really well to resist there. Under pressure. Lovely hold up from Pinto. That is a rogue challenge from Balenciaga. Schatzer. Switching to the left, to the right hand side. Kuhlberg. Can go wider still here and does. Bonansea now wants to take on Ket. Shimmies inside well. Lovely dribbling from Bonansea. Puts it in the box. Schatzer gets there. Deflects up in the air. Kuhlberg will compete. She's late to that one with Tanikawa. She does get the ball. And now Ket. And that is a Juventus corner.
Yeah, well worked. Combative on the byline from Juventus and a bit messy from Ket there. Not really sure what she was trying to do. Shielding it around in her own penalty area. Definitely the last touch coming off the Bayern Munich defender, and Juve, for the lack of performance they've had in this first half, now have a corner here and to convert it to take the lead.
So it's Tatiana Pinto. Or Schatzer. Cleared away well by Clara Buell, and out now for a Juventus throw-in.
Yeah, couldn't really use that. But the thing is, this is why I put all the funny games sometimes, because all it takes is one attack and, you know, a well-worked move, a brilliant finish, and suddenly they could take the lead in this game. So Bayern have got to be careful.
Here come Bayern Munich. Gwyn. Caruso. Tanikawa. Schatzer. Valti. Into Bonansea. One back well by Tanikawa. Now Duhlmann. Caruso. Vigosdottir. Balenciaga. Nice turn from Stanway. Knocks it to the right hand side. Now Clara Buell. And it's back now to Caruso. Stanway. Vigosdottir. Georgia Stanway. And Bayern coming forwards. Buell. Stanway. Can they break down the Juventus structure? One back in there by Lea Valti. Nice turn from Pinto. Out now to the right hand side. Juve have settled a little bit in this game now. Bayern have stopped going forwards and look like they're going to score every time. Ball down the line for Bonansea. Balenciaga will get there. Knocks it back to a goalkeeper, Grurs. And that is a hospital ball. I'm not sure who the intended target was, but it's Pinto picks up on it. Cambiaghi. Kuhlberg. She's run herself off the pitch. Should have done better there, Emma Kuhlberg.
Yeah. Again, as you say, Juve have just settled down a little bit, and they'd forced an error from Grurs and couldn't really capitalise on it.
Now we've got a first goal in the game between Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid, and it's PSG 0, Real Madrid 1. Naomi Feller with the goal in that game. So a good start for the visitors. Despite the fact that their goalkeeper Merle Brown's got off after just 16 minutes. To be fair, with how she's performed this season, that may not be the worst thing, though they'll be hoping that isn't serious for Merle Frams. But yeah, set up by Yasmin Ribeiro, the left back. Replacement for Carmona, who is playing for the opposition and is not having a great start as she faces her former side, Stanway. Now Caruso. Cut out by Schatzer. Here is Amelie Vangsgaard and Juventus driving forwards. Now across to Pinto. Wide to Bonansea. Wants to take on Ket. Great defending there from Ket to win it back. Now Stanway. Balesaga. Across to Gruz. Vigosdottir. Gwyn. Back to Vigosdottir. And now Georgia Stanway. Out wide to Clara Buell. Stanway. Balesaga. Carries it forwards well. Lifted out to the right hand side. And it's Gilia Gwyn. Shifts it to Harder, who carries it forwards well. Tries to cut into the box. And that is a corner now for Bayern Munich.
Well defended there. But Harder still winning the corner. But Bayern just seem to, they're not penetrating as well as they were in the first 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
The box defending from Juventus has been much better. But a corner now and a chance for the home side to put a bit more pressure on.
Buell delivers it in towards the front post. That's headed away well.
Yeah,
now Gwyn.
Got to be better than that. Got to be a better ball in. Needs to beat the first player.
Buell to Dullman. Gwyn. And that's poor from Balesaga. Does manage to knock it down the line though into Stanway. Onto Ket. Receives it well into the box. Pedro Magnin does hold on to that one. And Juventus see off the latest Bayern attack.
Yeah, they're doing well. They've done really well. Good reaction. They know they were probably a bit fortunate to be able to get back in the game at 1-1, but they took their chance, and now they're using that.
Yeah, so after 20 minutes, Bayern have had 6 big chances. They haven't had one in the 10 minutes since.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Juve have definitely raised that level. I think it just poses the question for Bayern, could they not, I mean, should they have, and they really should have, taken advantage of that early dominance? Could they go on to rue it now?
Potentially so.
Ket, forced back by Bonansea. Balesaga. Knocked out wide to Gilia Gwyn. Pinto. Lovely turn. Lifts out to the left-hand side. And it's Amelie Vangsgaard now. Shimmies back inside. Caruso fights away for possession. Back now to Juventus. And it's Pedro Magni. Ball in behind from Lenzini. And now go all the way through to Maria Gruz. Now Balesaga. Vigosdottir. Balesaga. Stanway's dropped into 4 back 3 in. Now receives it. Caruso. Stanway. Jay says need another goal. Well, it'd be nice to see another goal. We're seeing a lot of action here, though. Grus sends it forward. Buell tries to touch it back to Dullman. One back there by Liavalti. Now Bonansea. We've just got into one of those periods where it's a little stagnant. Juve are coming back into the game. Bayern have lost a bit of their sting.
Yeah, Juve are very happy to just absorb pressure for the time being. They know that they're back in the game. They're just going to conserve. Bayern Munich have also reacted to that Juventus goal and have kind of just realised that, yes, we're still on top, but we've got to be careful that they don't come and hit us on the break or catch us out. So, yeah, both sides just a little bit more reserved, especially Juventus. As, we're only 12 minutes out from half-time now, so plenty to hold on to at the moment.
Vigosdottir. Stanway, Vigors Dottir. Back across to Ket. Balesaga. And now Caruso. Into Vigors Dottir. Bayern looking to launch an attack. Still though, owns the ball. Nice turn from Stanway. Ket. Into Tanikawa, who can operate well in the half space. Passes it inside. Stanway tries to knock it out wide. That's cleared away well by Emily Vangsgaard.
Yes, again, box defending really good. Vangsgaard tracks the run of Dorman, sticks with her. And then when the pass is played out towards her, gets the tackle in before she can get there. Sloppy that Bayern Munich from the throat. Playing a knockdown, player 1-2 and end up offside. And again, that's going to give a chance for Juve just to get the ball clear. Bit of a reprieve. Now we think in 10 minutes now, or just over 10 minutes to half time, if they can keep the score at 1-1, that would not be a bad scoreline at the interval against a side like Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Out wide now to Vigors Dottir. Gwyn. Jay asks, can you tell the grounds are sold out with fans? Not quite. Not a bad attendance here in the FC Bayern campus, but the stand behind the goal definitely not sold out. A few seats as well on the side we can see in front of the camera. Drag back there, or pull back on Stanway. Lost skirt says still no score in Portugal.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, of course, Benfica have held Arsenal for the first 35 minutes. When I say held, despite Arsenal having 70% of the ball, just 4 shots and 0 on target. Benfica with 3 shots, 1 on target.
Same problems for Arsenal.
Indeed. It's nice to see them keeping my video from a week and a half ago relevant.
Yeah. Is it the same team?
For Arsenal, Mead, Russo, Smith, Cooney Cross, Caldente Little, Hines, Catley, Moy Fox, and then Van Domselaar. I've discovered the problem.
Yeah. Oh dear.
You can't just bring Cooney Cross in and suddenly it works magically.
But
There's the whole problems with the system.
The whole point of bringing Cooney Cross in was that you didn't play one of Caldente or Little. The whole point wasn't to play Caldente.
Well, maybe Calente's in the 10. So that is better.
That is better, but then I have even more questions as to how they've not created anything.
Great. I'd rather see Calante off the left wing, which is probably our best position, but
yeah,
alas, Arsenal spent loads of money on a winger, so now they have to make Calante
should have gone with Clara
defensive midfielder.
She's been brilliant tonight.
Yeah, well, Barcelona wanted that, but she chose to sign a new contract with Bayern Munich. And while she's looking to make something happen now here, Clara Buell clipped into the box, headed away well by Salvi. Schatzer out to the left-hand side. Here's Vangsgaard. Back to Schatzer. And all the way back now to Carbonell. Salvi. I mean, she must be on a hefty contract now, Buell. She signed through to what, 2029, I want to say?
Yeah, it's got to be long, isn't it? Yeah.
I believe it is, but to be able to compete with Barca's wage, I know they didn't have a load of money in the summer, but that was their big target, was Clara Buell. They know they had to do free transfers. But at least they got Leia Alexandri.
That is true.
Ball out now for a Bayern throw-in. Ket. They're going to go down the line. Throws it inside to Georgia Stanway. One back by Cambiaghi. And now Bonansea. Nice turn. Drives inside. Can she get a shot away? Not quite. Does hold on to the ball though. And she tries to win a foul, but that one less convincing than last time. And Buell comes away with possession. Pierre Barkala was very adamant on the touchline there that there was a handball as well from Cambiaghi. Wasn't given. Balesaga. Now Caruso. What are Bayern missing, Harry? They've had the chances, they've had the shots. Why aren't they leading yet?
No, it's difficult to say because I think that they have done well, and there's not really much they've done wrong. They've got the players to put the ball in the back of the net. It's just been missed opportunities, which on another day they'd have put loads in the back of the net. Harders had a couple that she's put wide. Tanakawa's hit the crossbar, and on another day all of those go in. You're 4-5-0 up. So they've created the good chances. They've played good football. I think they have. Juventus done really well to take the life out of the game in the last 10-15 minutes and just kind of halt any Bayern progression. But especially in the early doors, a couple of chances go in, then suddenly it's a very different game. But Juventus have done well to kind of pull back a bit of control in this game.
Well, Bayern haven't had a shot since the 22nd minute. They haven't had a shot on target since the harder goal.
Yeah, it's
so.
I think it's
just
more
wasteful. 10 shots.
Yeah,
only 2 on target. 6 big chances. 5 missed.
They should have done better with the opportunities they've had, and because they haven't done that, it's allowed Juventus to get back into the game. And credit to Juve for getting themselves back into the contest. But definitely they should have been. Juventus should have been down. Should have been down and out of it after 10-15 minutes.
And on that, obviously, it's likely a combination of factors. But do you think it's more Bayern playing slowly or Juve coming to life? Well, Bonansea coming forwards here, switches the play, shots of Vangsgaard, but she misses the ball, and that really should have been a Juventus opportunity. Juventus shot on goal, but Vangsgaard misses the ball entirely.
Yeah, it's the first time we've really seen Barbara Bonansea with a bit of room to work with on the right-hand side, gets a good ball in, and Vangsgaard just rushes it, the ball's a little bit behind her, and she tries to hit it first time on the volley. Got to do a bit better with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Should make contact with it at the very least. Here come Bayern. One back by Bonansea, but Bayern now coming forwards. Buell, Ket, now Balenciaga. And across now to Viggersdottir. Balenciaga. Here is Stanway out to the left-hand side where Buell's holding the width well. Pokes one inside to Ariana Caruso. Now Dorman. Lovely turn. Dorman into Harder. Touched on wonderfully by Tanakawa. Not quite able to find Buell though. Some deft touches. A lot of style, but no substance. And Bonansea, that's a brilliant dart past Ket, who just got caught out by the movement. Takes aim now, and probably should have done more. There was better options available to her there, Barbara Bonansea.
Yeah, I think she knows it. But again, it's better from Bonansea. She's getting a bit of space and a bit of license to get forward on this right-hand side. And she's disappointed herself, rightfully so. But again, it's a good progressive move from Juventus, who are just starting to grow into this game as the half goes on, really. Didn't think that after, especially after the early stages, that Juventus would be the ones who don't want this half to end, and Bayern Munich are the ones who probably need a break at the moment.
Indeed. So here come Bayern. Ket down the line to Clara Buell. Wants to take on the fullback. Forced back now to Stanway. Here's Buell. Lovely footwork, but it's blocked by Kuhlberg. Buell now trying to win a corner from it, and does.
Again, it's well defended because we've seen Clara Buell has made that byline run and then cut it back a couple of times, and it led to the goal. It led to Tanakawa hitting the crossbar, but that time Juventus getting bodies in the way and putting out for a corner.
Indeed. Caruso's got a bit of a hole in the side of her shirt as well, which is nice. No one's made any attempt to fix that.
It'll be when Tatiana Pinto pulled her back, most likely.
Yeah. Ball in from Buell. Headed towards goal, but that is wide of the mark. No, well, Harder thinks it should be a corner. I'm intrigued though, because normally that would get picked up and you'd be told you have to stop your shirt, but...
Yeah, Harder just gets it all wrong, heads it out of play. Not quite sure how Bayern Munich are so frustrated by that one.
Yeah. Guess you got to complain for it, but Schatzer heads on. Harden out. Flash it down to Dorman. Lifting it down the line into Pernilla Harder. Pokes it to Tanikawa. Stanway. Caruso. Ball into the box. Head away well by Salvi. Drops now for Georgia. Stanway hits the crossbar. Well struck effort. And good for Bayern to get another effort toward goal. But it stings the crossbar with that strike.
Once again, second time this evening that Bayern Munich have rattled the bar. It's a great effort from Stanway. Catches it nicely. Peo Magnin was beat, but couldn't quite dip under the bar. But again, Bayern coming on strong towards the end of the half. It's like those opportunities of Bayern Sarah just woken them up a little bit.
Russo, Stanway. Now Vigosdottir, Stanway. Gwyn, Stanway, Gwyn. Gruz. Now Balenciaga. Vigosdottir. Gilly Gwyn. Vigosdottir. Into Stanway. Back to Vigosdottir. Stanway again. And there will be a minute of additional time in this first half. So what can either side do with that? It's not an awful amount of time, but to be fair, there hasn't really been many stoppages.
No, yeah, it's been quite a free-flowing game. So a couple of free kicks early doors, 2 goals, but yeah, no injuries, no VAR interventions. It's flowed quite nicely. You think that would favour Bayern Munich, but actually I think Juventus have probably done quite well in the last 20 or so minutes just to slow the game down.
Ball down the line. Headed on by Cambiaghi. And now Balenciaga goes back to our goalkeeper, Gruz. Now Balenciaga. Caruso. Balenciaga. And that is the half-time whistle here at the FC Bayern campus. At half-time, it's Bayern 1, Juventus 1. Somehow, this game still level. Juve with a fantastic free kick from Eva Schatzer to bring them back into the game after Pernilla Harder's crafty header gave Bayern the lead. But since then, it has definitely quietened down this game as Juve have definitely shored up and Bayern have slowed down.
Yeah, very much so. It was a fast-starting Bayern Munich who could have probably been 3-0 up inside the first 15 minutes, but a brilliant free kick from Schatzer pulled Juventus level. At the time, it was undeservedly so, but the reaction from the away side since that free kick went in has been really strong. And Bayern Munich it went a little bit flat for them. They had another couple of opportunities after the free kick went in, but for the last 15-20 minutes of that first half, Juventus did really well to take the sting out of the game, to slow it down and to make life difficult for the German champions. And well, it's bar Stanway rattling the crossbar, we didn't see too much from Bayern Munich towards the end of the half, whereas Juve were just settling on the ball. They looked more comfortable on the pitch, and we saw Barcelona and Sayer have a couple of opportunities. I think the problem will be for Juventus is that they just didn't test. But obviously the free kick went in, but apart from that, they have not tested Gruz enough in this game. And yes, they've got themselves back into the contest, but that will be something they need to improve on going into the second 45. But at first half, I think they can be very happy to be level at the interval, saying they could have probably been 3 or 4 down after 15 minutes, and Bayern Munich will be frustrated that they didn't take their chances, because we always say in football, if you don't take your chances, it comes back to haunt you, and that's exactly what happened with Schatzer finding the free kick, and the fact the scoreline is still 1-1 at half-time.
Yeah, the free kick, very craftily won by Barbara Bonancer. She's probably been Juventus' brightest spark once again in this game. A little update as well from the game between PSG and Real Madrid. It's now PSG 0, Real Madrid 2. Alba Redondo getting the second in that game in additional time in the first half. But yeah, Bayern dominant in the first 15 minutes. They got their goal for Penny Lahada, but after that they struggled really to break Juventus down.
Yeah, they did, and I think that again it comes through a bit of both. That Bayern did get a little bit worse, and it just went very flat. And I thought that they lacked a bit of cutting edge, but it also came because Juventus worked out what was happening. They stopped allowing Clara Buell to get to the byline and hook it back into the penalty area and allowing a free header. They closed her down. They didn't allow Buell to get involved in this game too much. And it was the box defending that massively improved. First contact was a Juventus header. Corners were being dealt with. And it says a lot that after the first 25 minutes, the best chance was a long ranger from Stanway hitting the crossbar. But there were no close range efforts or errors in the penalty area. I thought that Juventus did much better to have a bit of organisation as a backline and deal with the Bayern Munich threat better. And it has been I think that again I expect to see a bit more from Tanakawa, a bit more from Dorman, because it feels like it's very much been, if Clara Buell creates something, we're going to get a good chance, but someone else needs to step up and help her out with that. It's not even like I think Ket's overlapped a little bit, but even Gwyn on the right hand side hasn't created too much. It's just I think that it feels like everything good is coming through Buell, which is fine, but it either means you've either got to finish off the chances she's creating, or someone else has got to step up so that you create even more chances to score.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Buell, a lot of the play has come through Clara Buell. However, I would also argue that is that perhaps a bit of a results-based claim, because Tanakawa had that header that came off the inside of the crossbar, that fell to Linda Dorman. That very much could have been a goal from either of those players. Tanakawa made a great run into the penalty area. Buell comes across her and she skims it wide. Tanakawa could very easily have 2 goals in this game, and then we'd be talking about it in a completely different way. So I do agree that everything has come through Clara Buell. I think it's a little harsh, particularly on Tanakawa.
Well, it's more the creation aspect of it, because again, that Tanakawa header hit the inside of the crossbar. That ball was put in by Clara Buell. So I think that they've had chances to hit the back of the net. I think Dorman's been a bit quiet in both aspects. Tanakawa's put down the right positions, but someone's got to start creating more. You can't rely on Clara Buell putting a wizard of a ball in or playing a blind or a pass to get you somewhere.
I get what you're saying. I do. I mean, we've seen Gwyn put deliveries into the box. That's been the threat from the right hand side. We have seen Kat as well at times, but oftentimes she just allows Clara Buell to have the ball too. Yeah, to an extent, you do need more creativity. I would say though, I think Tanakawa and Dorman's role on the side is more in terms of sort of that end product. I would say, because you've got the wing, got the fullbacks who want to get high. You've got Buell who's going to operate very wide. And so they're looking more to be on the edge of the box, create chances, break into penalty area and have opportunities. To be fair, I think Tanakawa's done that quite well. What I would say is I think Dorman, because of where they're playing, Dorman out onto that right hand side perhaps needs to link up a little bit quicker, a little bit better with Gilia Gwyn, and perhaps create chance of herself, of her own as well. So it's not quite as obvious, but yeah, I think it's been a decent decent start for Bayern. They struggled then to get the ball forward. I think Juventus become a lot more difficult to play through. They just seem to be a lot more regimented, disciplined in their structure, and so it's been more difficult to play through them. But yeah, overall, enjoyable first 45. I think for Juve coming forwards, it's been a little bit disappointing at times. It's all been a very clunky coming when they've tried to come forwards.
Yes, it's been difficult for them. And I think they've just made it look like such an ordeal every time they come forward. If it doesn't involve Bora Bonansea coming down the right hand side, then it has been really tough for Juventus. Vangsgaard has got involved but not really done anything. Biaggi might as well not be on the football pitch. I genuinely don't think she's touched the football, which you can't afford to do at this level in the Champions League. You need your striker getting involved in the game and getting themselves about a bit. So that has to improve. And again, I think the midfield has been overrun a little bit. I do think they've struggled in there. Caruso and Stanway are having a whale of a time running the show in that pivot, which is weird because it is more of a midfield 3 for Juve, but it's a very flat midfield 3. And I think that it's one of those where again they're getting overrun by a midfield 2, which is it's not good. You've got extra play. You need to use that. And I think that, yeah, it's just been a very flat three, which has let them down. It's not been what we wanted to see, which was Pinto a little bit higher and linking up with Cambiaghi and the attackers. Then a set pivot. It's just been a flat three, which is very easy to overrun when you've got players like Stanway and Caruso. So, yeah.
And then obviously like Dorman and Tanaka dropping in to receive the ball as well.
So when I think, and just when it hasn't been Bonansea coming forwards, Juventus haven't done anything. And that's like got just if Girelli on the bench, got to get her on because Cambiaghi hasn't touched the ball. I think you bring Girelli on, gets herself about a bit, just a bit of experience on the pitch as well, a bit of hold up, just for something. Because at the moment they've got 10 players on the pitch, and that isn't going to serve you as. No offense to Cambiaghi, but I mean I don't know how many touches she's got in the first half, but I really don't think she has not been involved in the game at all.
Yeah, 16 touches, only one touch though, crucially in the opposition box. One shot, and that was blocked. And that has been her only shot of the game. She's won all her aerial duels, struggled though in the ground. Duels only 33%, won there. But yeah, I think it's difficult. She isn't getting a lot of service. I'm not 100% sure that's all her fault. I don't know how much changed with Girelli coming on. I think it's more that either Juve need to change their system or just it is simply the striker isn't really going to get involved and they're going to have to rely on Bonansea winning free kicks on the edge of the box and Schatzer sticking them top corner. But
yeah,
at this stage of the game though, Juve same number of shots on target as Bayern, same number of goals.
Yeah,
so I don't think it's sustainable. I think Bayern will come into their own, and I don't think they're far away from another goal in this game. I mean, how a team creates 6 big chances in 20 minutes is absurd. I think that's really poor from Juve, but they rode out that early storm, and they're now in a slightly better position.
They are in a slightly better position. I think they did well to shift. I think that they lost a bit of attacking threat to sit in a little bit, and I think that at the time that was the right decision because the game was running away from them, and it's now how they transition from that because they are level. Yes, they'll probably again play it safe for the first few moments of the second half, but then they've got to try at some point surely to come forwards and put a bit more pressure on Bayern Munich. I think that it's up to Bayern now to make the difference and be a little bit less predictable because I mentioned that majority of things were coming through Buell and that worked in the first 25 minutes, but now Juve know what Bayern are going to do. They know that Buell's going to get the ball on the left-hand side, she's going to try to get to the byline, cut it back, and now they've started blocking it after letting it happen for the first 3 or 4 times. But yeah, they've got to Juve just sit in again, try and hold firm, and then get yourself back into the game. And if you can get Bonansea on the break to do something magical, you've got a big bench for players to come on and make the difference. So yeah, they've just got to. I think it's important now for Juve in the opening stage of the second half, just to keep themselves in the game now, and don't let Bayern run away with it or take control because you've worked hard to get yourself right back into the contest in that first half. Don't go and throw that all away in the first moments of the second 45.
Yeah, Bayern, do you think they would do any changes at half time? Maybe look at Alea Schuler, maybe look at, I don't know, Padilla, Urberdorf?
Potentially, I think they'll be okay where they're at, but yeah, they don't get a goal. But if they don't get a goal before 60, then I can definitely see some attacking changes coming on, whether you bring on Schuler and drop harder into the 10. And I think that I like that system. That works a lot better. Harder plays that. It's a very similar role to see Pot play for Wolfsburg.
I really like Padilla harder though up front.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, of course, but
she's already scored 1 goal in this game. She's just crafty in those sorts of roles, and she'll drop in and allow players to make runs beyond.
Yeah, potentially.
I think Dorman's been really quiet again, though.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Tanakawa's looked sharp. She should probably have a goal in this game. She's been very unlucky not to. But yeah, I don't think Bayern are a million miles away from a goal. They've just had so much of the ball, 77% to 23%, 403 accurate passes to just 103.
403.
It's ridiculous.
Wow. They just need to start doing. They've got to. Yeah, they've got to create more good opportunity. I mean, they can't create a lot of opportunity. They've got to put the ball in the back of the net. Let's be honest. It's as simple as that. Bayern Munich, it just needs to start putting the ball in the back of the net. They've had the chances to. Got to be more clinical in the final third with the players they've got on the pitch as well.
Yeah, Jorge Oliver. I don't agree that the problem at Bayern is the older players. I don't think that they've got too many veterans, as you've put it, but I think it's a very well-rounded squad. I also don't think that Gwyn, Buell and Stanway are going to be going to Manchester United. But alas, there we go. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half. I would expect that Bayern will probably switch up again, like they did early on. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they scored early in the second half and kicked on from there.
Yeah.
But Juve have made life difficult for Bayern. I've been impressed with how they managed to come back because the first 20 minutes, they weren't in the game whatsoever. From there, they've been able to compete. But yeah, it's just a question of whether they can get back to that level and maintain it. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that it will get more and more difficult for Juventus as this game goes on because Bayern will throw players at it if it is still 1-1, and if it isn't still 1-1, then Juventus are probably losing. So yeah, it's going to get tougher for Juve. I'm not expecting any late drama like they had last week, and I think that the first halves are showing what we saw from last week, that Benfica are a very, very decent side and Juventus are perhaps not as good as we anticipated them to be.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone's watching the Arsenal game, let us know what is happening there, because Arsenal have had 70% of the ball, but have not put a shot on target in the first half against Benfica.
Something's not good enough. We say, it's just like, again, similar problems away from home. Benfica are a very tricky side. They proved that last week. And Arsenal got to be careful because all it takes is one breakaway and suddenly you can be bang in trouble in the Champions League. Man United had an interesting time a bit earlier. They could have. The Champions League is such a variable competition where across 90 minutes you never really know what's going to happen, because there were at times earlier where United looked like losing, at times they looked like winning, and it was unpredictable to say the least. And Juventus and Benfica can tell you exactly that last week. So yeah, it's interesting. The side that look most settled at the moment are probably Real Madrid, who are playing quite well.
Well,
I'd assume.
I'd say, of the games right now, yeah.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That helps them playing a very poor PSG team.
That is true.
I think I want to see Real Madrid against good opposition, because so far they have played a very poor PSG side and a Roma side which I don't really know where they sit. I don't think the quality of Italian football is as high as it should be. I don't think there's enough investment in those leagues to keep it as high as it should be. We never really see... It's rare now that we see them get into the knockouts. Obviously, the new format will likely allow Italian sides into at least a knockout playoff round. But the idea of one of the Italian sides finishing in the top 4 this year feels alien. But yeah, I'd like to see Real Madrid tested. They have got some tougher games coming up. I believe they play Chelsea in this group in the league phase, which will be a good test for them. See where they're at, because they play Chelsea in like every season.
Oh yeah, they've met.
Last like 3 years, they play them every time. But yeah, Joe says the same story as always in the Arsenal game. Here we go. But yeah, and Praveen says Madrid play Arsenal on match day 3. Yeah, but at the moment that's not a test. No, that will be a good test.
That will be actually a good game, yeah, because obviously they played out 2 brilliant legs of football in the knockouts last campaign.
Yeah, so Juventus will get us back underway in this second half at the FC Bayern campus. And waiting for the referee to get us back underway. Stephanie Frappart waiting to get us started. And now we are underway. Ball not back. Juve looking to hold on to 1-1. Bayern looking to press on and re-establish their lead. And it's Juve coming forwards from the off. Barbara Bonansea under pressure from Gwyn. Does well to hold her up. But it is now out for a Juventus throw. So Bonansea onto the left wing now. So swapped it. It's now Vangsgaard on the right and Bonansea on the left. I found that a little strange.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I don't know how much success Bonansea can have up against Gwyn. Okay. Gwyn has held Cambiaghi there and then spun around and she's got a free kick for it. A little fortunate, I feel, there. It's a free kick now for Bayern. Joe says Benfica looking strong on set pieces.
And Arsenal don't. So Arsenal need to get out in the second half and score early.
Play better. That's what they need to do, really.
Yeah.
And similarly, PSG sinking without a trace at the moment. So Juve now on the right-hand side. Vangsgaard wants to come inside. But now Bayern driving forwards, and there's a foul in there.
Yeah, I feel like as every match week the Champions League goes by, I feel like my prediction for PSG to get knocked out of the league phase is more and more realistic.
You're going to be shocked by Kanjinga's second half hat-trick. As it stands, Arsenal on 1 point, Bayern on 1 point, PSG on 0 points, Roma on 0 points.
That's why we got the league phase format in.
I mean, they are all teams who have played tougher fixtures to start, to be fair.
That is true. But as it is in the domestic stage, once you get down towards the bottom end of the table, it can be very, very difficult to get back up.
Yeah, I mean, after this, or the next break, Bayern face Arsenal and PSG.
So that's the big, there you go.
Tough games.
If they all draw to each other, they're all in trouble.
Yeah, and then in the final break, Atletico Madrid and Vålerenga. It's not an easy set of fixtures at all for Bayern.
Hang on, so who are their pot 3 sides?
Vålerenga and... not sure. Maybe they don't play any pot 3 teams. Atletico pot 3.
Yes.
Must be.
Yeah, they are.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's not easy at all.
They played both their pot 3 sides in that last game, but yeah. They're not easy pot 3 teams.
Vålerenga have been brilliant this campaign, and they drew to Bayern Munich last season in the Champions League. And Atletico Madrid have been very, very good have been okay. Well, I don't really know where they sit.
But yeah, Arsenal and PSG, 2 sides who haven't really done as much. PSG, though, after this, United and Bayern in the next set of games. Leuven and Benfica in their last set.
PSG could be on 0 points after 4 matches.
Very much, yeah.
That would be difficult to get out of.
As for Juventus, if they hold on to a point here, they're done incredibly well. They play Atletico next time out. I think that's a very winnable game.
Yeah.
Leones is probably a stretch. But then St. Paulton and Manchester United. I think they put themselves in a really good position at the moment, Juventus. The win over Benfica, albeit narrow, was good. They're holding Bayern well at the moment.
They need consistency. Because, and by that I mean, I don't mean consistency, I mean consistency over 90 minutes. Because in this game, they've looked terrible at times, but they've also looked really good. And same against Benfica.
Ball down the line, searching for Vangsgaard. And now sent forwards by Gross, headed down for Vangsgaard. Touches it on well, and it's knocked out of play by Ket. Yeah, not much to speak about in the start of this second half. It seems to have picked up where we left off. Quite a scrappy affair, with another side really able to take control of this game.
And again, it's just the danger players for Bayern aren't getting much space to use.
Yeah. Gross. Figures Dottir. Bounces one off of Stanway. Now Gwyn. Back to Vigors Dottir. Caruso. Dorman. Lovely switch from Stanway. Balesaga, and that was poor.
Yeah, bit sloppy that. Juventus wanted to take it quickly, opted against it. I'm really not sure about the switch of Bolancea onto this left-hand side. Why would you change something that was working?
Yeah, I find that utterly bizarre. I completely agree, because Vangsgaard isn't really getting any joy down the right, where there is more space. And you've now got Bolancea, who they're trying to get the ball into, running at Gwyn.
Yeah.
Which is much more difficult. Ket now with a throw-in for Bayern. Surveying her options. She will have to take the throw some point today. Does now throw it into Stanway, who's under pressure. And one back by Vangsgaard, but she's kicked it back to Caruso. Vigors Dottir all the way back now to our goalkeeper, Gross. Now Caruso. Vigors Dottir. And Caruso splitting the centre halves.
Again, it's good from Bayern, it's controlled, but they're not causing many problems for Juventus at the moment.
Gwyn. Vigors Dottir. Looking forward, lifts it towards Pernilla Harder. Touch back to Tanikawa. Options to the right to Dorman. On to Gwyn. Looks to clip it into the box. Chance now for Bayern. It's into the side netting from Clara Buell.
How is she?
Can't quite find the target. But Dorman to Gwyn. Lifts it over. And Buell there just seems to lose where the target is.
Oh, wow.
That is such a big chance.
Buell has got to score that.
Buell.
Got to score that.
And if you were wondering, that is another big chance missed.
Yeah. Wow. They should be cruising in this game with the amount of chances they've had.
Yeah, Bayern should be in a stronger position than they are, absolutely. Kuhlberg. Well, that was one hell of a throw. Here come Juventus. Ball down the line, looking for Emily Bankside, who's got the wrong side here of Ket. Cuts it back now for Cambiaghi. Vigastota gets there, though. But yeah, how on earth are Bayern not in the lead in this game? Pass back now to Balesaga. Caruso. Vigastota. Looks right. Ball into Tanakawa. One back there. And here come Juventus. Vangsgaard. Wants to take on Ket. Ball into the box. Blocked well. Now Schatzer. And smashed away by Caruso. And here comes Pernilla Harder. Lovely hold up from the Danish forward. Surveys her options. Goes back now to Stanway. That's just got Bayern out. Now can they attack? Buell wants to take on Kuhlberg. Shifts it inside through the legs of the referee. Into Caruso. Wide now into Dorman. Dorman into the box. Blocked away. And here's Bonansea. Well cut out by Vigastota. Tries to play it down the line. Now they'll try and see it out there. Juve. Dorman though putting pressure on it. That is out for a Juventus throw-in. That is Castanel. Down the line.
Oof.
Oh, from Carvanel.
Got that horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just feel Bayern are now... They've got Juve where they want them, but they just can't seem to get that leading goal.
Yeah. Gwyn. Stanway. Into Gwyn. Back to Stanway. Back to Gwyn. Clipped into the box. Bounces around. Wow. So many players just can't quite find the target. And it's out now for a Bayern throw-in on the far side.
Someone's got to make contact with that ball from Gwyn for Bayern. But yeah, they've got Juventus on the ropes. Just need to find that goal.
Ket. Balesaga. Now Vigastota back to Balesaga. Ket shifts it to Caruso. And now Balesaga. Down the line into Pernilla Harder. What can Bayern do? Harder. Back to Buell. Back to Ket. Bayern just need to take the shackles off a little bit. They're playing with the handbrake on. Blocked well there by Frappart, and that will be Bayern's ball.
Yeah. Juventus don't need another body defending for them. Balesaga looked to pop it into Stanway. Bayern got it going again. But yeah, they've got to take more risks now, Bayern.
Yeah, it's just a little too...
They're just going to pass their way to a 1-1 draw at this point.
Yeah, that overpassed. And out now for a Juventus throw-in. I wouldn't be surprised if Dorman is off soon and they look to change that attacking line. Proving the least effective of their attacking players. That definitely came off. That'll be a Juventus throw. And, well, they may not be playing the most vibrant football, but the displays in the crowd certainly are vibrant, as they are bouncing up and down in the stand behind the goal.
Trying to boost some energy into their team's performance.
Yeah.
I think Bayern have just got to speed it up a little bit. Zip it away. 1-2 Dutch football. Juventus won't keep up.
Valti under pressure. Schatzer. Figures Dotto with great press. Caruso back to Gwyn. Figures Dotto. Now Gwyn. Pass inside to Georgia Stanway. Caruso. Tanikawa. Gwyn. And across now. Into Figures Dotto. And finally, Arsenal have got a breakthrough. It's Benfica 0. Arsenal 1 after 56 minutes. Their first shot on target, and they have found the back of the net. Not sure yet who. Ball slipped in behind. Kambiagi. And that's blocked well by Vigastar to charge down the cross well.
Again, it's Bonan Sayer in charge of everything. Drip brings it forward nicely between the lines. Slots it through to Kambiagi, who can't really do much with that one. Angle closed down by Vigastar. Juventus corner. And this is where a sting from Juventus would hurt Bayern, but before the corner's taken, we are going to see a change, and that is going to be Tanakawa replaced by Shula.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting, but presumably just a fairly like for like in that Shula will go on, Hard will drop into the 10.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I don't know. I think Tanakawa's been sharp.
Yeah.
Sharp on the doorman, at least.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Ball in. Headed away well by Vigastar. Schatzer. That's how to play. And that is a Bayern throw. And it's with Linda Dorman.
Yeah, so still plenty of time for Bayern Munich, but
Beth Mead, by the way, with the goal for Arsenal. Apparently fans quite critical of her performance up to that point, but she has now found the back of the net, though it has now been given as an own goal.
no.
So there we go.
The thing is for Bayern is that the other problem they're going to have is their goal difference now, because they conceded 7 to Bayern Munich, to 7 to Barcelona. So even if they do win tonight by 2-1 and get the 3 points, it's probably another one of the viewers' an opportunity to try and get a few on the board.
Yeah. Speaking of getting something on the board, there's a goal in Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid. It's PSG 1, Real Madrid 2.
Wow.
Game back on.
Real Madrid, genuinely, they're so unpredictable this season.
Rashida Ajibade with that goal.
Maybe PSG can nick something there.
Kajinga's already had 3 shots.
Great.
Has not hit the target.
Big half an hour coming, though, for these two sides. Especially for Bayern Munich. Pressure is on. Pot one side. Need to win this game.
Thank you, Chantal and Praveen, updating that. Saying Benfica own goal. Had Arsenal 1-0 with an own goal. So, yeah, a little bit of everything happened across Europe.
So Arsenal winning without a shot on target.
Yes.
That's the Tottenham way for you.
Well, apparently there hasn't been a shot on target.
Oh.
There must have been. But yeah, I think they're counting the Beth Mead one though on Footmob, which everyone else seems to be saying it's no goal. So who knows? Here is Gwyn. What can Bayern make happen? Half an hour to go. Stanway into the box, headed on. Oh, Pedro Magnin will have to come out quickly to deal with that one.
Takes more time at the game, understandably so. Juventus are very happy with the position they find themselves in right now.
Well, maybe they're not, because they've got a triple change ready. And that is Girelli, Stollerson. I didn't quite see who the other one was.
Grunbeagle, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Grunbeagle.
That's the last thing Bayern Munich want to see. You're already struggling to break the Juventus side down and to get back
Here comes
ahead.
Girelli.
Yeah, here comes Girelli. Shit will change. Juventus will be... This is where they have to get it right, because obviously they need to remain balanced and regimented and defensive, but also they'll sense an opportunity.
Here is Cambiaghi. Wants to come inside.
Yeah,
One
get
back
Girelli
there.
on.
And out now for a Bayern throw, and that may well be Cambiaghi's last involvement.
Really has not been her night, has it, Cambiaghi?
Oh, there is now an injury. And a signal from Caruso that she wants to come off. She's holding her shoulder and seems to be in a fair whack of discomfort.
Yeah, she was fouled a moment ago and went down holding her shoulder after that. And she's tried to play on, but seemingly isn't going to be able to. And this will bring a chance for things to be stopped. But yeah, Bayern Munich, again, tonight, started so promisingly, but things just seem to be spiralling a little bit. They're not getting back in they're not getting ahead, they're not taking advantage of all the ball. And now Caruso may have to come off.
But yeah, it's just signalled over after that one that she wanted to come off, sat down. And so this will be a change you'd expect from Bayern Munich. Surely. Oh, well, you think they'd look at Lena Oberdorf. Changes anyway for Juventus. It is Girelli, Godo and Krumbiegel coming on. And so that is the end of the night for Barbara Bonansea. It's the end of the night for Amelie Vangsgaard. And the end of the night for Cambiaghi as well. So a complete change to their attacking unit. Girelli on to lead the line. Presumably Godo into attack midfield. Krumbiegel, I don't have no idea where everyone's going. We'll work it out. Krumbiegel usually a midfielder as well, so yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Have they just decided, I can't tell whether they've gone for it or gone defensive.
Yeah. All I know is Girelli's up front.
Girelli is on the pitch.
That make the difference? Could they find the goal?
Maybe. It's the kind of game you give her a chance, you give her something to work with, and she could take advantage of it.
That'll change well for Bayern Munich. As they obviously will have to replace Ariana Caruso. She'll be replaced by Elena Oberdorf. And then the other change is Linda Duhlmann making way for Alara.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Caruso.
No, she seems to still be in quite some pain as she comes off. So Alara into the midfield, Oberdorf in there as well. So Alara will be in the 10, Oberdorf, or out wide, and Oberdorf into central midfield.
I mean, it's not a bad player to bring on, is it? Lena Oberdorf.
One of the best midfielders in the world.
35 minutes to go a Champions League game.
Great hold up from Schuler. Oberdorf. Stanway. But Caruso would be a huge loss, and Bayern have really struggled with injuries to midfield players. So Stanway out for a large bit of last season. Obviously, Oberdorf missed all of last season with an injury. That's why Caruso came in the first place. Gwyn. Lovely pass inside. And, you know, they let Ziggiotti leave because she wasn't really going to get minutes. But now, they probably do it. Here is Pernilla Harder. Driving the ball forwards. Looks to switch the play. Here's Clara Buell. And Krumbiegel does well. How Bayern weren't more competitive, by the way, with how strong their team was last season. And depth. Here come Bayern. Buell brings that down really well. Dealt with by Kuhlberg. Krumbiegel. And they'll drive forwards here. Pinto. Girelli. That's a little bit behind Krumbiegel. Now Verti. And it's back to Salvi.
Yeah, Buell has just tried to do the same. She was very sharp the first 20, 30 minutes, but then she just kept trying to do the same thing all night, and Juventus know what she's going to do.
Yeah.
And they know she's trying to get to the byline, so they just wait for her to do that and then block the ball in. And it leads to nothing.
That's definitely slowed Bayern. But yeah, that first 20 minutes she was electric. But yeah, as you say, since then she struggled a little. Harder. Nice turn. Wants to carry it forwards. Tries to play through the lines there. Alara doesn't quite come off. Stanway, Gwyn. Erbadorf. Harder. Lovely on the overlap to Alara. Can she make something happen? Cuts it in. That's blocked wide. Now Alara again. Stanway. Alara. Stanway. Cross it in. That's cleared away. And now Vickers-Dottir back to Gross. Balenciaga. Vickers-Dottir. Alara. Lovely touch from Dorman. Not Dorman, sorry. Gwyn.
Yeah, it's just, again, they're just...
Not quite coming together, is it, for Bayern in the final third?
Just a bit slow. And then when they do try to speed it up, that seems to lead to errors. Juventus are very happy to watch that happen all night.
Yeah. Indeed. Game of headers. Now Gwyn keeps it on the deck, tries to find Stanway. One back now by Schatzer. He had a really impressive showing tonight. The 20-year-old midfielder. He's offered a lot of stability in the base of midfield. Krumbiegel lays it in behind. Pressure now on Balenciaga. Knocks it out of play. Can you see Juventus nicking this?
I mean, potentially. There's always a chance. The longer it remains 1-1. Been a while. It feels like it's been a while since we saw Schatzer curl that level up into the top corner.
Yeah, a game which, well, burst into life early on, but has, I don't know, stumbled since then.
Yeah, both sides just seem a bit conservative, which is a bit bizarre. Bayern should be going for it, taking Juventus on, and you know, just being it. You're a big side. Go for the game. Be aggressive. Go score some goals. Just seems to be very flat, very nervy. Don't you know? That's not what you're meant to be as a big side. You know, pot one team, get out there, play on the front foot, and put the other team to bed.
Yeah. Okay. Stanway. Now about Vickers-Dottir. Gwyn. Wants to drive inside. One back well by Erbadorf. Pass inside from Schuler. That's gone horribly wrong. Here's Girelli. And now breaking down the left-hand side, it's Godo. Great tackle, though, to prevent that. But Stanway had to get back in there and do the defensive work.
Yeah, does well. Gets stuck in and does the job. Very aggressive.
Put on a shirt for good measure.
Yeah, aggressive, but on the line. But yeah, big 20 minutes now for both these sides coming up. Especially for Bayern, the last thing they need is to lose their first two games.
We'll put them in a very tough spot.
Yeah.
Especially with the fixtures, as we spoke about earlier. They're not favourable for Bayern in this Champions League.
No, they're not. And again, it's form. It's so much easier to hold on to a value that you've got than to chase a value that you need.
And even if they do win tonight, their goal difference is shot, and they really needed some goals tonight to try and repair that.
Yeah.
So, 20 minutes to play. On the left-hand side now, cut back doesn't quite come off from Pernilla Harder. And now driving inside with purpose is Krumbiegel. Pass towards Schatzer, smashed away by Gwyn. Head ball one brought down well by Girelli. Round the corner looking for Schatzer. And now it's with Vickers-Dottir. Gwyn. Vickers-Dottir. Trex says Bayern killing us. Are you a Juventus fan, Trex? I don't think you've done too badly. I think it's been a good performance compared to I thought after the first 20 minutes and coming into the game, Bayern would have this very comfortable. It hasn't turned out this way. Juventus have made it very difficult. Vickers-Dottir. Erbadorf. And here come Bayern. Ket. Erberdorf. Viggersdottir. Now Gwyn. Back to Viggersdottir. Gwyn again. Now Phil, welcome to the stream. I bet you're glad you haven't paid for Disney Plus now after Arsenal have stumbled towards victory.
That's a poor pass. That's such a poor pass from Bayern Munich. They've become really sloppy.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that, fair enough, they went a bit flat end of the first half and the Juventus got back into the game, but I thought in this second 45 they'd have come out with a bit of purpose and you know, put their weight about. You know, the quality they've got, they should be scoring a couple and taking the games to the Juventus side, but they've got worse, if anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's been a disappointing performance from Bayern. They started, as you say, very quickly. I think Juve have done well to make life difficult for them, but yeah, Horizons feels like the new format has made underdogs take it up a gear. Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, Juve here are making Bayern work for it. Benfica have made life difficult for Arsenal. Benfica made life difficult last week for Juve. Twente drew with Chelsea last week. I think has there been upsets this weekend? This midweek? Mayorenga should have held on against Wolfsburg.
Yeah, they should have.
But yeah, they're definitely making it harder. I still think most of them will qualify, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone like a PSG drop out. I'm very surprised if PSG got in because at the moment they're struggling to win any games.
Even Real Madrid are trying their very best to give them some points.
Juan Manuel Munoz expects this game to end in a draw. Well, Krumbegel's header seems to be going that way as it's considerably over the bar.
Yeah, Bayern aren't playing very well, and Juventus are kind of sat there going, okay, well, happy days. We'll just let them have the ball, not play very well, and we'll take a point away. But the Bayern fans are trying to get something going. They've been up for it all night.
Yeah.
If only they could give that.
They're who I feel for. They've been bouncing for a good 70 minutes. They've been enjoying it, but the players on the pitch, they started with that energy, but they've just fallen flat. Phil says happy to ignore the Champions League this season. Obviously wants to win it, but not too bothered. Fair enough. Here come Bayern. Harder. Has options left and right. Ball across the box. Blocked well. Clara Buell tried to find the delivery. Now she wants to take on Kuhlberg. Sticks it in the box towards the back post. And, well, no one able to meet it. Gwyn will put pressure on the ball. And just cannons it into Carbonell in the hope to try and win a corner. One back there by Salvi, who launches up the line. Girelli holds it up well. Stand by the first two, though, knocking it out of play.
Yeah, again, another Bayern attack given to Clara Buell just becomes too predictable. I don't know if I've seen a player look so dangerous for 20 minutes of a football match and then just lose all the spark and fight.
And now Juve need a sub.
Yeah, and again, she may be injured, but this is also with 50 minutes to play, and they're going to use every trick in the book to take a point away today.
Indeed. So it looks like that may be the end of Lenzini's night.
Some instructions from Barcola to his side.
Yeah, I mean, could this go the other way for Juve if this is a bit of a tactical one? Because I feel Bayern have got more to gain from a tactical intervention at this stage than Juve do.
Yeah, because Juve have done well to just take the life out of the game.
Yeah.
I think that is the best way to describe what they've done. Juventus have just taken the life and the energy out of the football match, and that is serving them so well right now.
So the change for Juventus, and that is going to be Lenzini making way.
Again, solid performance, nothing spectacular, but just decent level.
Didn't make any massive mistakes, yeah.
No.
That's all you can ask, really, isn't it? Just look comfortable. Battled hard.
Exactly.
But yeah. So Harvikan, who did start the game against Benfica, is coming on for Lenzini. They'll settle She's got to slot into the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, sorry, of this back three. Of this back four, sorry.
It's not what...
The left centre-half position.
It's not what Juventus would have wanted. You don't want to make changes to your back line at this point in the game.
Right centre-half position. We got there in the end. She's on at right centre-back. Poor Lenzini.
And he's settled down early. If you buy Munich,
Chats
you're running at her.
Yeah, flicked on well. Good hold up in there, and there's an arm though. And a bit of jostling afterwards, and Bayern gets back underway. Erbadorf. Here's Viggersdott here. Wants to play it in behind. Now it's with Alara. Erbadorf. Launched forwards. Great hold up from Girelli.
And he's brought down, wins the free kick. I don't think Girelli touched the ball since she came on. I'll be honest. I felt like she came on like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think, well, Juve have definitely not tried to.
I don't think Juve touched the ball.
I don't know.
What they're doing.
Let me see the UEFA attack stats.
Is they're kind of just. What Juve are doing is they're sitting deep and then allowing Bayern to cause their own problems. Because Bayern will play it around and then just kick it off or make a mistake and then they'll get back to Juventus. Juventus not really doing it, they're just existing.
Yeah. I still don't know what this UEFA attacks stat means, but I don't recall Juventus having 21 attacks in this game.
No, that's a lot.
So I don't know what that is, what that metric is working out. But yeah, Bayern, 623 passes, 92% pass accuracy. They've had 69% of the ball. Juve have only made 173 passes.
Oh my days.
And it was 103 after that. 70 passes in the second half. And here come Bayern again. They've had all of the ball, but they've just not made enough happen. Gwim, Stanway, Erbadorf. Lovely pass through the lines. And that's a bit clumsy there between Harder. And I don't see who that was. It was Godo for Juventus, who got brought down, and that will be a Juventus free kick.
Exactly what Juventus want. Stall the game. Take time out of it.
But also, I've seen Bayern a couple of times domestically and not been impressed with them. Yeah, I think it's going to take time to adapt to the new manager, but it definitely feels a bit too slow, his style of football. They just don't move it quick enough. First 20 minutes, they came out, they were fast, they were electric, they looked really good. They had 6 big chances in the first 22 minutes, and they scored once. They should have done much better in those early encounters. Tanikawa had one off the crossbar. Dorman had one blocked at close range. Tanikawa had one taken off her head by Clara Buell.
No, Juventus free kick. Stanway into the book. Just overstretches.
Nasty one there, just catching Tatiana Pinto on the top of the foot. No intention, but yeah. Clumsy foul from Georgia Stanway.
Tell you what, if Juventus was to nick this now.
Well, they did against Benfica.
They did do that.
What, 95th minute? No, 86th minute, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, that one as late as Wolfsburg.
No. And Pinto's going to take her time. On the floor. Yeah, big 10 minutes now. Yeah, it's been a weird night for Champions League football. We've seen some absolute humdingers across the first 3 nights. Goals flying in left, right and centre tonight.
I mean, to be fair, the early kickoff was insane.
It was. I think goals have lacked today. Only got one earlier. One for Arsenal.
Yeah, one for Arsenal, but they are boring. So boring. They had one shot on target all game.
80 minutes in and they had one shot on target.
Yeah, 69% possession.
0, dear. It's just not good enough. That's a top team.
PSG still only trail Real Madrid by a goal. It's PSG 1, Real Madrid 2. PSG had more shots in that game.
Of course they have.
But every big chance created has gone in. Real Madrid had 2 big chances. PSG had 1.
Get alive. Oh, no.
But it's still in Juve's possession now. Schatzer knocks it out to Kuhlberg. Krumbiegel. Not enough on that. She's trying to take on Cat. She's got to make it look a little less obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, Real and PSG. I mean, whoever wins that is big for them because both sides could do with it.
Feels as high potential Barcelona seen from a late corner as always. I'm here for it, Phil. Love that happens.
One shot on target, 81 minutes footballs, the reigning champions of Europe. It's not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just every game hangs in the balance still. That's what I like. There's so much happening. There's got to be a goal in one of the games. Either PSG will draw Real,
that's the thing.
one of these sides will win, or Benfica will level it.
Obviously, we're not watching the other two games, but do you see a goal in the last 8 minutes here?
Yeah, someone will throw the kitchen sink at it.
Who? Because I'd love to see Bayern Munich do that.
But Bayern have to. If Bayern don't win this,
But it's not. It's what I'm absolutely standing by. It's so passive. Just we'll kick it over here. We'll kick it over there. Oh no, we lost it.
do you think the manager realises they need to win some games soon in the Champions League?
Yeah, they're playing. The Bayern Munich are playing like they're happy with a point right now.
Yeah, it's weird. Biggest Dotti. Lovely pass into Erberdorf. Now out wide to Gwyn. That's better football. Into the channel run of Harder. Carbonell does well, though. Really good defending from Astaire. Carbonell out now for a throw, and they can use this.
I think Barkala might be a Gareth Taylor like regen. Let's just see how many passes we can do without actually winning a football game.
They do play in red. It's Gwyn. Oh, you're Taylor in disguise. Vickers Dotti. Pass across now. Into Balenciaga. Caruso. Not Caruso, sorry. Erberdorf. Balenciaga. Vickers Dotti. Coming inside, Alara.
Got to switch it. That's a great knock from Erberdorf.
Buell wants to take on Kuhlberg. Chops it to the fullback, overlapping. Almost gonna drop to Gwyn. That's such a crucial intervention from Valti. Gwyn, Vickers Dotti, Schuler wants to take on Carbonell towards the back post. Will be kept alive now by Clara Buell. Got to be more decisive, unpredictable. Clara Buell. Lovely footwork. Crosses blocked by Krumbiegel, and now Juve can break away. Though Krumbiegel hasn't done a great job of that. Mustafa Turk, sorry, welcome to the stream. I don't think this game has been rigged.
By who?
Apparently, fixed score is 1-1. That's why they immediately did 1-1 in 18 minutes. I don't think either of these sides want to rig a draw. Blocked wide, and that is out now for a corner. In this minute, sorry, where it is rigged, who benefits? I don't think it's Bayern.
Energy from the home fans has been brilliant. 6 minutes of normal time. Bayern need a goal. Corner. Good chance. This has got to be a good delivery from Buell. Got to put it on a red shirt. They've got some big players at the back. And they've gone short.
Played short.
Oh, my days.
Buell.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Schatzer.
I don't believe it. At this point in the football match, that ball has to go in the penalty area.
Yeah. Still nothing happening in the other games.
And, like, I get teams have their routines and things like that, but at this point, that goes out the window. Come forwards again. Clara Buell.
Cuts it back. Erberdorf to Gwyn. Lays it on to Stanway. Ball in. Cleared away well. Stanway will look to keep it alive now. Chops in on her left. Vickers Dotti. Gwyn. He's opening up the space for the cross. Too readable though. Vickers Dotti. Balenciaga, Erberdorf, Vickers Dotti. Option down the line. Into Gwyn. Stanway. Beats the defender. Into the box. Punched away by Pero. Magni. And now they've won it in the box. Bayern. Cleared away by Kuhlberg. Harder keeps it alive. One back well by Krumbiegel. Cleared away only as far as Gilia Gwyn, who found that to the chest well. Here is Pernilla Harder. Swings it into the box. Headed away. Gwyn coming onto it, cleared forwards. Girelli, one back by Vigors-Dottir, pokes it forward, one back by Carbonell. Down the line. Barcola, animated on the touchline. He looks like a conductor.
Yeah.
In the way he's dressed and the way he's bouncing to the rhythm of the game.
He wants more from his side because it's flat. He knows they need a goal. Oh, Girelli, no way, Juventus.
Juventus coming forward, ball reversed into Krumbiegel. Players in the box. Can Krumbiegel pick anyone out? Well, the cross is blocked. It's a corner now for the Bianconeri.
It would be so Cristiano Girelli to just pop up with a poacher's effort from something. Corner ball, though. Chance to keep the pressure on.
TC, I'm not sure where you're getting that there's no goals in any of the Thursday games. And also, I'd rather watch paint dry than Barcelona. Chance now for Juventus. Ball in. Headed away. Kohlberg tries to keep it alive. Carve it out. Swings it in. Vouty. Krumbiegel. Blocked out. That's another corner. And Juventus can keep the pressure on.
Yeah, Bayern are just going to have to hang in there for a
Why
moment.
do I still feel, though, that Bayern are more likely to score from a Juventus corner?
That is a good
break
yeah,
away.
it's a good point. Yeah, Krumbiegel on the keeper. This is what Bayern should have done. Juventus are just going to swing it in there and hope someone makes contact with it. Where's Salvi? Popping up again.
Yeah, well, they did it last week, didn't they? And it was the 86th minute. This will be the 89th headed and blocked, though, Girelli there. And now Biel breaks away. Here come Bayern. Clara Biel shifts it on. And they can't quite hold on to the ball. No. And was there a foul in there? Apparently there was.
Oh.
Alara brought down. And not sure. It's a yellow card for who?
Bador. She pushed as the ball went, as it came through. Whoever fouled Lara stood over the ball and Bador just shoved them over.
Now Jay Vincent praying for a Bayern goal. Tom wants Juventus to win, as does Cassina Napoletana.
So yes, just gets brought down, and Seagate understands the ball. Bang! Bador pushed it in the back. Frappart shows the yellow card.
Phil upstates as Fox has gone for injured for Arsenal apparently.
Oh dear. Brighton another player down for Juventus as well, and Brighton is coming on for Juventus.
So Abby Brighton, the American. Oh, we saw a contingent of Americans score yesterday. Alyssa Thompson,
yes.
Lily Johannes.
2.
Could Abby Brighton? Is that not a contingent?
I don't. How many is a contingent?
Who knows?
That's a great question.
Well, speaking of Arsenal, they've doubled their advantage in that game. I know you're hoping
another own goal.
Late drama, but no, it's Benfica 0, Arsenal 2. And I'm not sure who the goal scorer was, but I will find out for you. And in this game here in Munich, we've got Kohlberg coming off and replacing her. Is Abby Brighton going right back? No, it's Caligari.
Brighton
Makes more sense.
has also come on,
Oh, okay, cool.
or was coming on before the injury.
It's Alessia Russo with a goal for Arsenal as they find 3 points.
Not sure how many we've got added on, by the way.
We'll play till there's a goal.
Golden goal. We'll be here all night.
Eventually, someone's got to score. 5 minutes of additional time. Verdorf. And her and Gwyn run into each other. Miscommunication. Very true, Phil. Nobody knew she was watching a Barca 8-0 for entertainment. Phil says it's Ford who scored.
No.
Says Russo to me. Apparently Kelly set it up. Not sure what's
Phil's
happening.
having a fun game.
Phil's watching something else. Phil's just guessing. Anyway, throwing now for Juventus. Well, as you tried, you'll get another chance. Carving out, and that is headed on by Alara. Gwyn, back to a goalkeeper. Not on long left. Bayern, there's got to be some urgency. Gets launched long. Harder misses the header. Header forced by Caligari. It's just everyone's swinging wildly at it. Stanway out to the left-hand side. Buell will get there. Comes inside. Stanway. Buell. Got to go in the box. Blocked. Was there a hand in there? What's the ref given? Nothing. Doesn't care. Ervedorf. Gwyn. Now stops the play due to the injury. Well, there was Bayern players complaining for a handball. And I'm sure it will be checked. What's your little all
I don't think Tatiana Pinto did not look good, but she's all right now. I think she was all right. I think she took it to the face. Oh, no, she didn't.
It's the arm.
Oh, I'm not really sure why she went down. They stopped the game like it was a head injury and like she was in like it was a real problem.
Well, yeah, if they think it's hit your arm in the penalty box, hold your head. Smashing idea.
Yeah, don't think there's no problem with it. So,
Drop ball.
2 minutes to play. Oh no, we'll try again. Oh, what a touch from Frappart.
Bowler. Knocked out wide to Gwyn. Ervedorf. Can she make something happen? Stanway. Gwyn. Got to be touch and deliver. Sticks it in there. Harder. Heads on. Shoot up. Pokes it home. Off the line. Oh, my God. Oh, no, it's over. By Pero Magnin. Harbacan off the line. Pero Magnin punches over her own goal, and Juve survive. Oh my word. And apparently it may have crossed the line, but it's going to be checked. What on earth has happened here?
They're checking something.
And Frappart points to the spot, so that should be a goal, but it's going to be checked. It must have crossed the line then.
I have no idea what's happening.
So Bayern may have scored, they may have not. It might be a foul, it might be offside, it might be a... I have no idea what's going to happen.
So I think the overall decision is goal, but they're going to check it.
It didn't look like it went in.
I had no idea.
I just don't know how it could have crossed the line.
Again, are we going to have late drama involving another German club?
My God, everyone's surrounding Frappart here.
And she just stood there and don't listen to whatever they're talking about in her ear. There'll be all sorts going on. There'll be the offside will be the other thing. There'll be all sorts going on with this check. And everyone just has to stand there and wait.
So as we tick over the allotted additional time, the goal is given. It's Bayern 2, Juventus 1. Poked home by whom? We're not quite sure. But Bayern re-establish their lead late on in this game. And it's a valiant effort to keep it out, but it won't matter because Lea Schuler has scored.
It's an anticlimactic 95th minute winner.
On by Harder, found to Schuler, poked it past the keeper, clawed off the line. Gwyn puts it back in. That did not cross the line.
I need another look at that. This angler's going to tell us nothing.
But they must have cleared it as having crossed the line, but that has not gone over the line.
Surely not. I mean, this is again.
We're going to get a better angle.
Someone's got a side on. We need the angle that they've used.
It's not,
If they've used
not
that,
over the line.
if they've used that angle, that did not look over the line.
How on earth? I'm
Wow,
hoping we get a
wow,
goal.
wow.
That did not even look like a goal. But Bayern may have got the 3 points.
Welcome to the Champions League, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a
VAR today has been an
yeah.
absolute mess. Schatzer, and that's blocked.
I'm not sure about that one. I'm really not. Again, maybe it might be one of those where if you look at it side on and you pause it frame by frame, there might have been one frame where it was over the line. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks so tight.
Ball, it's not a bad ball. Oh my god! Oh my, is it?
Scrambled over the line.
Oh.
Goes out. And it's hoofed away by Alara. But quick on the scene is Pedro Magnin, but she won't even get the chance, or she will. No, she won't. She took too long. And that is full time. Bayern Munich 2, Juventus 1. A dramatic game, a 95th minute winner. But we didn't even think it crossed the line. But it did. And Lea Schuler found the winner, the moment at the death. Bayern beat Juve by 2-1.
Wow. Drama. I'd like to see that second goal back for Schuler. But Bayern take the 3 points.
Bayern had such a good first 20 minutes. They created so many chances. After that, fell flat. And are very lucky to come away with the win.
Yeah. But
Very lucky.
A win's a win. It's exactly what we said at Wolfsburg last night. The German club squeezing through with 2-1 victories in the last minute of the game.
Yeah, indeed. J.E. says, great commentary, guys. See you on the next one. Thank you for joining us, J.E. Thanks to everyone that's joined us this evening. Make sure, if you are new, to hit that subscribe button and join us for more streams in the future. We have now got a little break. Not very long, but this weekend, there is no live streams. We will be back next weekend with the international break as England take on Brazil. Very much looking forward to it.
Yes.
That, though, is everything from us today. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.